desktop volume working. What I regret is that freaking speech to chat thing is so loud. I wish there were a way to turn this stupid thing down over here. Okay, I hope. Let's play. We left off here yesterday. Our character is utterly exhausted. And I think everyone understands that because it was an exhausting... They get hit by this Beelwick, they call it. Wow, now he's hallucinating. And the two people he made it through that cavern with are dead. And he is all alone and not as close to town as what he'd like to be. We are playing a mage, a pale elf mage. We are going to turn Aloth into a thief if we can, and if not, we're going to dump him from the party. And I will be reading for you, so you won't have to read yourself. So there's that. Hope everyone's doing great. By the way, if you're not already subscribed, click the subscribe button and or the follow button and turn on your notifications so you know when I'm online, or for YouTube when I have posted a video. Whoa, there's some horrid things going on here. People being burned at the stake. This massive structure is formed of stone, audra, and copper, and covered in strange glyphs. The air around it vibrates with an unusual energy. So as I said, our character is now, as we see here, he's really major fatigue is what's going on with him. So we notice that the area transition symbols are like Tyranny, which is one of my favorite games, actually. We have one set of camping equipment. We are on hard mode, which is obviously not the world, but, you know, hey. So let's see if we can rest so that we're not driving ourselves completely into the ground. I think that's, yeah, I figured that was all he had. He doesn't have that much survival.
Welcome to my channel.
Hi, whoever you are, couldn't read your name, which is fine. I always just find it interesting. I have some lovely lurkers who come and sit in my channel, and I love to hear their name read out. Oh, there's a ghost. We are totally hallucinating, and I have played this before, by the way, guys, many times. And I've played it all the way through, in point of fact. I have... We're not going to actually leave this game. This Seon of the Crags. I played it all the way through with her, and with it, one of the others there, but it was pretty cool. I just didn't like the ending. Just won't give any total spoilers. Spoiler alerts there. Just there's no spoiler alert. I just didn't really care for the very ending of it myself. Wow. We really are seeing spirits here, aren't we? Let it pick his own way over here. So we know what's coming up because we've played this before. There are certain things we are not equipped to do as a person on our own, like fight a bear. Shattered pieces of crate are strewn across the dirt along with a few muddy vegetables. Okay, I turned that music on, but I feel it needs to be a little bit lower. Feedback would be appreciated. I noticed when I watched the stream that it was entirely too loud. I mean, too soft. Blech. I didn't hear it. That doesn't seem to be doing too much, does it? I hope it's not as loud for y'all as it is for me. I'm going to turn my headphones down although my headphones are down quite a lot. Okay, so there we go. I think I just put that in my inventory, which I didn't want to do. It's ghosts everywhere. The grass is still flattened behind the wagon's wheels. Barrels of cabbages, potatoes, cabbages. Barrels of cabbage, potatoes, and squash have been overturned and abandoned. Just FYI, it's heads of cabbage or just cabbage. Cabbages is not a word.
Welcome
So,
to my channel.
Hedy, welcome.
Tarsa.
Hi. Some of the people who were in my other stream earlier today. I had to put leather armor on him. Wasn't too thrilled about it, but he was getting his butt completely kicked.
Steady does it.
Steady does it. Very good, very good. Let's go down this way. We're all on our own, and yeah, I'm not too thrilled about it, to be frank.
Well met, friend.
This man appears to be hurriedly dismantling his camp in quick, jerky movements. He looks up as you approach, his expression tense and drawn. "Greetings," he says, a little breathless. "On your way south, is it?" Okay, so he's also a pale elf, like we are. "You look to be a long way from home." Oh, I guess he's not. We just are. Okay, meaning no offense. Not sure what brought you down here, but it's no place to go wandering alone. He wipes his brow, turning to face you.
Welcome to my channel.
The sooner you're clear of these woods, the better, I think. Welcome, everyone, to my channel, to my stream. Glad you're here. Hope you enjoy the game. If you haven't subscribed yet or followed me, please don't forget to do so. Okay, so the sooner you're clear of these woods, the better, I think. Let's see, what do we want to answer? I think that was telling us he is also a pale elf. Our caravan was attacked. I've been trying to get to Gilded Vale. That gives us some honesty points. We do gain personality type of things here. I'm only passing through. Keep your nose out of my business. I don't do that. What's your hurry? Never mind the woods. There is a strange machine in the ruins up north. We don't know. We're not supposed to be talking about this. Nobody's warned us yet. Performing some kind of rite. Okay. The man's brows furrow in concern. Ruins. The old Ingwithin place. You'll want to keep clear of those, whatever you saw. Strange things always crop up around the Ingwithin sites. I don't doubt those people saw you were up to no good. Those people you saw were up to no good. Let the Glenfathens deal with it. They don't take kindly to trespassers, whatever their intentions, and there's enough to worry about in these woods as it is. His expression falls. We came across a bear in a cave to the north. Got the better of a friend of mine. I only just made it out with my life. In any case, this forest's already cost me a friend. I'm heading home before it takes anything else. Number 1, who are you? Name's Naughton. Born and raised in Gilded Vale. Haven't had a spot of luck since. His face twists. Luckier than Pearly, I suppose. Okay, what happened to your friend? We didn't see it coming. Naughton's voice shakes a little as he speaks. We were following a stag. Pearly, he saw something in the brambles, and we went tearing off after it. We all but stumbled into the cave. Poor Pearly didn't stand a chance. The bear was on top of him before we knew what was happening. The beasts will take what they will, I suppose, he smiles sadly, and this time Galwain's favor fell upon the bear. Okay, well, where did you find this beast? In a cave, a ways up that way. He turns to point to the northwest. I wouldn't seek it out if I were you. It was a great brute of a beast. Would hate to hear that it took another life. Okay, well, fare thee well. And farewell.
Steady does it.
I think let's just head down to the Vale and get some more people on our party because we don't stand much of a chance on our own. We really don't. If you put yourself into the character's place, he's had quite a harrowing adventure, can we call it? Well, what a thing to meet when you first come into town.
You must be one of the new settlers. Welcome to Gilded Vale. You'll be pleased to know that we've had some recent vacancies here.
There's a tone in his voice, isn't there? Okay, so do you welcome everyone this way, or are you mad? No wonder this place looks half empty, or I feel at home already, or I might reconsider your lord's offer. I think number 4 seems appropriate.
Nonsense.
00
Gilded
underscore
Vale
Elliot.
is a perfectly suitable
Welcome to my
village
channel.
for those
Hi,
who respect
welcome.
the Lord's decrees. Besides, you won't find a better offer anywhere else in the Deerwood these days. And you look as if you could use a fresh start.
There's an insult hidden there somewhere. he looks around at the town, his face a mask of sober contentment.
Of course, we'll need to make some inquiries first. The inestimable Lord Radric VII has taken great pains to insulate our town from Widewind's legacy. Have you ever sired a Hollowborn child?
He praises you over Half Moon's spectacles and scratches his chin. What a rude question. Is there one that says no, not that I'm aware of? So let's ask him what he's talking about.
An infant born without a soul, of course. Lord Radric has made it his first priority to eliminate this scourge from our village.
And by the way, guys, before people get thinking I haven't played this before, I've played this scene through I don't even know how many times. But for me, each character is a fresh character.
I should warn you.
And I have to set myself into the character,
Here
okay?
in Gilded Vale, we have a special place for dissidents, charlatans, and those who would hide a curse in our midst.
He steps to the side and inclines his head ever so slightly toward the deformed tree.
His lordship's wife is with child and due any day now. Without his approval, I shan't be able to find you a permanent settlement. It will have to wait until after the birth. We can continue our interview then, after the bell tolls from Radric's hold to signal my lord's new heir. In the meantime, you can find temporary accommodations at the inn just southwest of here.
Okay, what if we tell him, because we don't know we're not supposed to talk about this yet, right? Nobody's told us. I've been feeling strange ever since a close call with the Beowick. Is there someone in town who could help? This will bring an interesting dialogue.
It sounds like a matter for an animancer. However, the only animancer in Gilded Vale isn't in any condition to speak. Consider yourself fortunate. After she failed Lord Radric, we saw to it that she wouldn't profit from the misplaced trust of others. A bad cure is often worse than none at all.
Well, it depends if it cures it.
But if you're set on finding a bottle of troll piss or a dead Audra pebble to rub on your forehead, you're welcome to check her pockets. A little corpse stink is nothing when you're digging for shit. My advice, however, is to be satisfied that you escaped and leave it at that.
Oh, I just want to stick a dagger in him. It's just me. It's my personality, you know. Excuse me, if you have any other questions, don't hesitate to ask. It's important that everyone in Gilded Vale understands our rules. You said something about the Hollowborn. He blinks. I forget that you foreigners do not have this curse in your homelands. The Hollowborn have been a scourge upon the... I'm going to say it the way they do. I always say Direwood, but they say Deerwood. For almost 15 years now. He lowers his voice to a whisper. Children born without souls. He shakes his head. Pitiful, dumb things that breathe, barely. but do not truly live. That's when the Fey folk switch their babies out for yours. Some say the Hollowborn are a disease. Some say they are punishment from the gods. He raises his empty hands. In truth, no one knows. But they began spreading after the Saints' War. And so the name Widewind's Legacy stuck in honor of that foul, blasphemous pretender. His voice shakes with vitriol. I see. So that's how things are in these parts. Lord Redrick's decrees may seem strict at times, but he has our best interests at heart. Okay, before I go, I saw several people conducting a strange ceremony near the ruins. They were strange people, too, to boot. He regards you carefully. You want to mind where you mentioned that. Trespassing on Ingwithian ruins is illegal, not to mention dangerous. You probably saw someone attempting some new ritual to appease the gods. People will try anything these days. Barath, have mercy. We certainly have. That they have tried anything, that is to say. So, and by the way, if you are in the Twitch and you click on the little medal, you'll see how many people are actually in the stream. I would caution people who stream for Twitch. If I have 12 people in my stream and Twitch says 1, and Twitch tells you have 100, how many do you actually have in your stream? That's the question. So, okay, well, Okay, that's not the right order, though. They didn't finish, and then there was the Beowick. That's not the right order. There was a Beowick, and then I saw this, so that's not true.
Keep out of...
Listen!
2 tolls. Let that be the last.
3. Gods have mercy.
It seems your arrival is ill-timed.
He looks out toward the east, his expression unreadable. He blinks slowly and turns his attention back to
3
you.
bells toll only for the death of a Radric. I fear Lord Radric's heir is lost, or else Hollowborn, and so lost all the same. You should tread carefully. Circumstances have changed a great deal.
His wife could have died in childbirth. So let's see, I'm always tempted to pick number 2. But that's not who our character is. We must restrain ourselves and our natural impulses. What do you mean? You come to us at a time of mourning. The legacy has struck at the heart of Gilded Vale. Our efforts to redeem ourselves in the eyes of Baroth must be redoubled. He sets a steady gaze on you. Does this affect the Lord's offer to new settlers? I can be sure of nothing right now. I advise you to get some rest. The inn, or a stable for all I care. Find me afterward. I will know more soon enough. Okay, chisels. So this game is for me sometimes very calm, sometimes very loud and exciting. Es kommt immer drauf an. I do know we're not going to be able to speak to the dwarf until we sleep. We must remember that. There's no point in speaking to... I have a crush on him. Adair until after we have spoken to her. Oh, you see 4 people gathered by the door to the inn. Their raised voices and chopping gestures suggest an argument reaching its climax. The first figure raises his hands for calm. His face is partially obscured by a hood, but his height and stature suggest an elf.
I meant no offense. Let's put this matter to rest over a round, shall we? My treat.
Hoping to soothe our pride with a few Adira coppers, eh? We don't need your coin.
Okay, so first we're going to say nothing. Angry townsman. One of the other men glares at the hooded elf. His eyes are red from drink, but his gaze is focused. You've got a lot of gall mocking us in our village. We don't take ill treatment from foreigners, especially not Adirians.
Go on. I'm itching for an excuse.
Why, you're itching for the kindling touch of your sister, you cocksmither!
I'll cut that barrel-licking tongue out of your head.
This is a misunderstanding. I didn't say whatever it is you think I said. We've nigh quarrel.
That's where you're wrong.
So, we're a mage. Let's start out diplomatically. This is unnecessary. Oh no, I like number 1. I don't think attacking him would be such a good idea. And why is that? Let's pick number 3. If someone's baiting you, as obviously as he is, it's generally wisest to walk away. So they look at each other. One of the men gives the other 2 a warning shake of his head before turning to you. We're done for now, but this one better watch his step around here, because we're not going anywhere. With a final scowl at the elf, he turns to leave. As the 3 stumble away, the elf turns to you, the tension almost gone from his smooth face.
Not quite how I hoped to get to know the neighbors. Thank you for your timely assistance with that awkward situation.
You're welcome.
Courtesy is a rare pleasure in these parts. Though your accent suggests that you are no more local than I.
He straightens his hood, and you note the remains of fraying embroidery on his gloves. His boots are caked with the dirt of many months' travel, but the leather work beneath is sturdy and fine.
Well, I suppose introductions are in order after that little fiasco. Aloth Corvusser, at your service.
Why don't I get to tell him my name? Okay, tell me about
I'm a
yourself.
wizard by
It's
training,
rude not to
and
tell him your
adventurer
name.
by necessity. I was born in the Seathwood, part of the mainland of the Adir Empire, and both of my parents served the nobility, which afforded me an education for which I'm grateful. However, there were no open positions in those houses, and so I decided to seek new means in a new land. And how exactly did you come to be here?
Okay, I was traveling with a...
Welcome to my channel.
Hi. I was traveling with a caravan, but we were separated near some ruins. Welcome to my channel, and welcome everyone.
In Griffin Ruins? Well, those can be dangerous places during the best of times, which these are not. Half the locals would arrest you for trespassing, and the rest would kill you outright. I'm curious, what exactly did you find there?
And by the way, we started the game with a pale elven thief. It is a male. In case that's of interest to anyone, I really wish we would start getting rid of these differentiations. Yeah, so here we are. What exactly did I find there? Several hooded figures operating a strange machine. That seems like a good answer. Alof goggle, that's actually, it used to be a word, goggles at you silently. Apparently assessing your earnestness. Finally, he gives you a clipped, awkward laugh.
You do manage to find yourself in rather interesting predicaments.
So just how did you manage to cross those 3 drunks?
I'm afraid that was a matter of misunderstandings and mistranslations. It doesn't help that people in these parts remember their war with Adir like it was yesterday.
I like number 2. You did make a rather lewd suggestion regarding one of the aggressors in his own... Oh no, number 1. You did tell that man to go feck his sister. Oh, that! He clears his throat and adjusts his sleeves. As I tried to tell them, they misheard me. Misunderheard me. I'm making up my own words now. Happens all too easy after a few pints, and the accent doesn't help. I heard the same thing. For just a moment, he looks as if he's about to say something else. His expression brightens with mischief, but before he can speak, he forces a tight smile, biting his lips so hard you expect to see blood. Finally, his face relaxes, and he shakes his head. That was a personality change, wasn't it? So shifting. I should speak more clearly next time. My apologies. Okay, what are you doing in Gilded Vale?
Excellent question. I came looking for fresh air and
I'm
cheap
asking myself that.
Instead, the magistrate gave me directions to the inn and a story about the local lord's expected wife. But I take it that's a familiar tale.
Okay, so now he's asking about us. Well, like he said, I'm also a settler.
Indeed. In that case, welcome to Gilded Vale, a true refuge from civilization.
Okay, you don't exactly look like a
Begging
settler.
your pardon, but neither do you. Yet, circumstances can find a person in the strangest of places.
'Tis true.
As should I, given recent events. It's just as well. I've had enough of the watered wine and lumpy beds at the inn. They say even the owner tired of the place. Just up and left one day. It explains quite a lot about the upkeep. Perhaps I could join you. I could use a change of scenery, and I find it's better to travel in numbers.
Okay, so do I. Let's go then.
Excellent. I shall follow you.
Ching. So they've got him, as I've said, they've got him as a mage. A wizard, whatever. So he's a wood elf and we are a pale elf. When he levels up, I want to see if we can change him over to a thief. Pretty sure we're short on funds. We are always short on funds in the beginning of the game, right? Oh, no. 2 peas in a pod there. Both of us screwed if we get into battle.
Jobs keep you.
Oh, greetings and welcome to the Blackhound Inn. The innkeeper bows her head curtly. Please sit where you like. Would you like a drink or a room? We have 2 available at the moment. I'm afraid we can't offer much by way of a good meal today, she sighs. Unless you're fond of cold porridge. You only serve porridge? Aloth looks at you and shakes his head quickly. No. It isn't by choice, I assure you. We used to serve some of the finest meals in Deerwood. We've had a damnable run of luck is all. It's been a bad season for the crops and we're running low on supplies. I sent Tenfrith up north to stock up. Tenfrith's our cook, you see, an artist with a good roast. But it's been days since he was supposed to return and we haven't seen any sign of him. I've only just taken over from the last owner myself. I don't know what I'll do if he doesn't turn up. Okay, we can try to help you because, you know, that's the way it is. Really? I'd be grateful if you did. We're not playing an evil party, by the way. We will do it in Baldur's Gate again. I've saved our evil party. He was traveling through the Vale Wood. It's probably nothing, a broken wheel maybe, but I do worry. You see him safely home, and I think everyone in here would sing your praises. Nobody much likes my porridge. Okay, I'd like to know more about the Black Hound. Really? Well, let me see. The actual building's been here for years, but the Black Hound's fairly new. We get a lot of new faces here, too. Fewer than we used to, I'll admit. I used to work the tables, actually, until the old owner up and left. Nobody's sure what happened to him. Even left his poor hound behind. That's the name, see? The Black Hound. It's still sitting upstairs, pining after him. Poor old girl. Place ended up in my hands somehow. My very own inn. A lot of hard work involved, but it's been worth it so far. Ooh, tea. We'd like a room, please. Of course. We keep nice and tidy. So we're short of coin. We'll be taking a flop on the hay out in the stables, probably in the common room where everyone snores. And there's lice all over the place. Blech. One time an American colleague came to Germany and he said, oh, wouldn't it be great to do medieval reenactments in Europe? And my autistic friend, I'm autistic too, my autistic friend says to him, You can start by just not bathing for 3 weeks. Your sleep is restless and fevered, assaulted by hisses and whispers, blanketed with a suffocating anxiety. You open your eyes to awaken and find yourself in front of Gilded Vale's gallows tree. The creaking of its ropes growing louder in your mind until the sound is deafening. Hanging from the tree is an old dwarf woman, whose face has shriveled inward like moldering fruit. Her head hangs limply to one side. As you look at her, she looms larger and larger in your mind until she is mere inches from your face. Suddenly her head snaps up and her eyes open. They are empty behind them. They are empty, and behind them is a vast nothingness that makes your stomach drop. Her mouth slowly parts, and a gust of rancid air, she speaks the word Watcher. You jolt awake, the foul smell of the dwarf woman's breath still permeating your nostrils. Sweat runs down your face in thick droplets, and your skin is soaked from head to toe. You remember the woman. You remember seeing her decaying face when you spoke with the magistrate. He called her an animancer. Though it fills you with a new queasy apprehension, you feel a strange compulsion to see this woman once more, if only to confirm that she is truly dead. So let's go grab the hound. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. So we can collect various critters. You see our space pig here. That's what I call it. Sure, that's what the game calls it too. So, everybody who's in here, welcome to my stream. Make yourselves at home. People don't do a lot of talking in this stream, but you're welcome to write in the chat if you have a mind. Now, most of the people that you meet in this game, by the way, it's like this. I'm not going to go ahead and read through all of these for you. That's all we'd be doing the whole stream, okay? Although I'm sure people would enjoy it. I might do a video of me reading those stories and post it if people are interested in reading it. This hound stares intently and at the covered window, head cocked as if waiting to hear a particular sound. It looks up when you approach and whines a low note. Tag wailing. I'm not dyslexic. Tail wagging slightly. So let's pet the dog. The dog's tail thumps happily against the floorboards. So, come here, sweetness. Okay. Sorry, girl, but I don't think he's coming back. The dog whines softly again, head tilting. How about this? Well, you can come with me. Maybe we'll find him on the way. Okay, the dog's ears perk up. It trots over to you and barks happily. You have gained the item Black Hound in your inventory, and we can go in here to him. If we want to, we can put the space pig into the box. And that seems really like animal cruelty, doesn't it? So let's go down and talk to that dwarf woman who has halitosis or something. I don't know. Death, the ultimate state of unhealthiness. And then I told her, that's not the pistol. What the devil is he telling? Y'all ever catch snatches in this game of conversation and wonder what the devil they're talking about? Okay, Caldara de Beranzi. The squat, distended body of an elderly dwarf woman dangles from a thin, crooked bough that sags at the tug of her noose. The bloated purple flesh of her neck, worn away in patches like moth-eaten linen, bulges over the rope that suspends her, and her lifeless head lolls forward rigidly from one side to the other when the breeze shifts. You perceive a faint glow around her that casts no light on its surroundings, but there is a tepid warmth to it, and you feel somehow that you could reach out and touch it, not with your hands, but with some aspect of yourself that has no worldly dimension. So let's reach out for the woman. You take a deep breath, clearing your mind, focusing on your objective. As you exhale, you feel yourself spreading out toward the hanging woman, perceiving all that lies between you and her with new unfamiliar awareness. Once you've expanded enough to reach her, there is a sudden jolt in your mind, a ringing, electric surge of images and words and sounds. Involuntarily, you shut your eyes and feel yourself being pulled down to some deeper consciousness, in a space occupied only by you and the hanging woman. And when you open them again, she is staring at you with eyes clouded in a milky fog. Her body still swaying in the wind, you no longer feel from a tree that stands planted in a misty void. The woman gives a slow nod of her head, the rope creaking as she does so, and she smiles at you.
Have you come here for me, dear? Or have you gotten lost? Ah, it is both, I think. Yes?
So let's see, what do we want to say to her? Let's pick number 4. I think I survived a Biowick. Do you know why that might be?
Did you now, dear? My, that would be something, wouldn't it? Could be luck, could certainly be. A storm can be a careless thing.
She feels like she's talking to a small child, you know?
Or maybe it got its hands around your soul but couldn't pick it up. A soul can be heavy if it stayed in one piece through its time. Strong souls, we call them in the trade. Cold, I mean. Called them. Those days are all behind me now.
You said souls break apart over time?
Oh, yes. Entropy. Rimagan's work. We know little of why or how. We lose pieces of ourselves when we die and pick up pieces of others when we are born again. But less than what we lost. We tried to stop it with the animantic sciences, but with little success. A very small few resist Rimergan's influence and stay together through some force of defiance, at least for a time. But they all succumb eventually, I think.
Am I imagining this?
No, I think not. A pity that. It would be simpler. A mercy then. Do not have to wander anymore, no? Alas, we are here, you and I. Wherever here may be.
Okay, how are you able to speak to me then?
Is that what we're doing? Perhaps it just seems that way. Perhaps it is the easiest way for your mind to make sense of it.
Okay.
I think it is a very good choice.
See, she gives you a motherly smile. It's like she's speaking to a small child. Okay, I need to understand something that's happened to me. She nods, a look of pity on her face as though consoling a child.
The world looks a little different than it used to, is that it? Feels like you're noticing things for the first time that have always been there.
Or maybe that weren't there.
You have seen past the shroud. It only takes an instant. Your soul remembers, yes? Remembers how it sees when it leaves the body, like being reminded of a dream you had forgotten. You are a watcher now, and a watcher you will stay.
What's a watcher?
What indeed? Long hours have many animancers spent studying such things. Not I. Not I. I'll tell you what I know, though, since fair is fair. And here we are, visiting, you and I, and it reminds me of better times.
It's like you're in a cottage somewhere in the woods in one of the Slavic countries visiting a grandma, you know, who's a shut-in or something, you know.
Souls pass on. Some say through Audra stones, which are the blood veins of the world. They leave the world for a time and are reborn into it.
Baratswil.
Sometimes more than they were before, but usually less and seldom the same. For all souls there is a time where they do not live, yet have not passed on. And those souls roam the world, same as you or I, either living or lost. But no one sees them because they have forgotten how. A watcher sees them, knows what to look for. And sometimes they know a person just by looking at them, know where they've been in ages past when their bodies were other bodies. See memories even their honor can't recall. A wonder to behold when all goes well, a wonder.
Okay, so what do you mean by when all goes well? We're gathering information for our
Nothing
character.
to be afraid of, I'm sure. It's just much to take in for some. Sometimes there's trouble sleeping or other difficulties.
Like what, urinating? She smiles at you reassuringly, fanning out a tuft of long whiskers that sprouts from one of her cheeks. Is she turning into a cat?
You should see old Merwald. He could tell you much more than I. A watcher just like you. Helped many in his day. Took up in an old keep no one would claim. Not far, not far. Kanua, beyond the Black Meadow. He will welcome the company.
So, what about you?
Me? I'll bore you to tears, though.
Well, who are you?
And here I thought you'd come to visit me in particular.
Sorry.
Caldara de Baranzi, of the Valian Royal Academy of Animantic Sciences. Not the greatest of their number, but I came here all the same because this was where help was needed.
And the Slavic accent is a little painful, by the way. They could have gotten lots of Slavs to do that accent. So what happened to you? She laughs, a rasping, choked cackle escaping between rows of buttery yellow teeth, causing her body to bob up and down with each spasm. Seeing your blank expression, she catches herself. That's not what I meant. I live a stone's throw from Cheshire, by the way, and it's like 30 minutes to Cheshire, 45 minutes to Poland. It's not the deep Slavic countries, but...
Oh, come now. Such a question. As though the answer were plain as a rope tied for strangling. Allow an old dwarf her last bit of cheer.
Unless, of course, it's like Romanian or something.
Well, I came where I was needed, didn't I? Offered my services to Lord Radric for a pittance. A humble pittance. I was to examine the Lord's wife, see why the gods have seen fit to poison her womb. Studied her for months, looked high and low for impurities, tested her valence, the permeability of her essence. Do you know what I found?
Now tell me.
Nothing at all. A healthy woman, head to toe, blessed with a beautiful soul. Such a sweet woman, too. Meek, but warm-hearted. A few months' time, and the lord of the house demanded answers. For a time, I told him what he wanted to hear. Oh, yes, my lord. She is riddled with imbalances. I must have time to cure her. As the birth drew near, he grew impatient, as lords do. And this is where I've ended up.
Well, why didn't she just tell him she couldn't find anything and didn't take her leave? Or just disappear? What's an animancer? That'll be very important to this game.
Student of the soul. Something so basic, yet so poorly understood. But so many breakthroughs have been made in my lifetime. Have been made. Had been. To hear the locals tell it, we're a gang of soul manglers that preys upon the weak-minded. And the worst of us are. But the best of us, the best, inspirations, miracle workers. My parents were soul twins.
Like any
Miserable
occupation.
and
Mm-hmm.
yet empty inside. It was an animancer who helped one find the other, turned their lives around. You wouldn't believe the stories. Amnesiacs helped to remember their lives. The suicidal brought back from the brink of oblivion. The elderly afforded extra moments to say their goodbyes. How soon we forget when we're afraid. It's a fascinating science. A fascinating time to be alive in a place like Deerwood that does not control the research, no? I love the Valian Republics for many things, but their recent caution will leave them behind, I fear.
Okay, so we've already asked her everything we can. We can beat it.
Goodbye, my dear. It was lovely visiting.
Caldara closes her eyes. Caldara closes her eyes and her head slumps forward over the noose. And your surroundings seem to bleed into your vision from some unknown place of waiting. That's our name, Llewellyn Gladefast. So we've been granted the Crucible of the Soul. Okay, I'm sorry, this is background stuff that's going to be important to the game, and your character needs to know it. Our next stream tomorrow evening will be much more eventful because today we're going to go and clear out that area that we came through, and then tomorrow we will go down into the temple, and so that will be a lot more fighting and stuff. Aleph looks at you through narrowed eyes. Are you all right? You seemed lost just now. What shall we say? We don't know that it happens a lot. We just became inflicted with this. So let's say number one. Well, I guess I'm a watcher. His arched eyebrows recede into his hood. Well, that's interesting. He's very diplomatic, isn't he? He gives you a sly grin, and I expect this has something to do with the hooded figures in the ruins. In any case, I appreciate your honesty. Since we're traveling together, it's probably wise for us to share these things. Okay, do you know what a watcher is? Only that they're rare, and they seem to have unique insights into certain soul conditions, as you just demonstrated. Okay, let's beat feet. Oh, just a second. I turned on my heater, and now my CPU is doing overtime here. Hopefully, we won't freeze up. What? The smell of pipe smoke, at once earthy and sweet, winds its way into your nostrils. Your eyes trace the smoke to its origins, where you find a broad man with straw-colored hair leaning against the mossy rock wall, his pipe held to his lips with one meaty hand. He looks you directly in the eye, but the look is not aggressive. Alof frowns. Is that what you people do for fun around here?
Name's Adair. So do the people around here.
Love that voice.
19. Don't think I'd put you much higher than 22, 23 tops. You look like the sort that likes to get involved.
I love that guy's voice. What makes you think I was interested in the dwarf woman? He looks at you a moment, his brows arched, his smirk
I was
broadens.
smoking over here, saw you staring at her. Twice I refilled my pipe.
Oh, you need to cut
So
back.
much as blame. Your mouth was so slack I took you for a radrook at first.
It's almost impossible not to pick number 3, but I have to remember that I'm playing a different character. Number 1, do you know what a watcher is?
Let's not use that word round here. Could be any number of radrook bootlickers within earshot. Ciphers, animancers, watchers. Same thing in the eyes of folks around here, radrook especially. They come to these parts all the time with their cures, preying on the desperate. None of them are who they claim to be. Of course, seeing you with that funny look, I'd be halfway inclined to believe you were having some kind of communion with that dwarf. Either case, maybe I'm not 19 after all. No offense.
I do love his voice, but I always say either, and he's either. So, you think you're gonna be hanged? Well, just number 3, none taken. Good. They don't mean it personal when they hang folks around here. I have to remind
The
myself.
town's had it in for me for a long time now. Only fella who ever stuck up for me, well, he's number 18 up there. My headman on the farm. Used to be my captain during the war.
Okay, the war? Saints War. The only one in my lifetime. Feller decides he's a living incarnation of Aethos. Overthrows Readerciar, marches on Deerwood, so we gave him a Deerwooden hello. Okay, what's that mean? Bloom up. He smiles at this, but it is a smile of one recounting a joke for effect rather than enjoyment. Okay, who's Aethos? God of rebirth and redemption, formerly anyhow. Maybe they call him something different where you're from. Okay, I had other questions for you. Why was your headman hanged? Got involved. Redrick sent men down here the other day, said they had it on good authority someone in town was working with Kolsk, plotting Redrick's overthrow. Said if he didn't come forward right then and there, they'd hang every last one of us. No one was coming forward. So Swithin, that's my head man, he steps up and says it's him. They took him at his word. He sighs and shakes his head, his eyes fixed on the tree. Bound to happen sooner or later. If not for plotting against Redrick, then for protecting me. Okay, what does your town have against
Stick
you?
along, God. That's what it comes down to. There used to be a lot of Aethys worshippers in Gilded Vale. That mess of rocks over there, was a temple to him, to give you some idea. Then one day, somebody named Widewind shows up on Deerwood's doorstep. Says he's the living flesh of Aethys. Got an army with him. Suddenly, Aethys isn't so popular in these parts. My brother Woden and me, neither of us believed it. No way was that Aethys. He enlisted, and I did too. But, he didn't make it back. After the war, people took to punishing Aethys worshippers, accusing them of treason. Got real ugly, especially after the legacy started. Folks needed someone to blame. I was safe because I fought, but then this rumor starts that my brother, that he was on the wrong side. And I wasn't so safe anymore. Until my headman stepped in and said they'd have to hang him to get to me. Seems that's no longer a concern. Of course, the townies don't do the hanging these days, but when Raedrick's men come, they got no problem doing the pointing.
Haloth glances at you and lowers his voice. You can see why I was eager to leave. Okay, so let's ask him who this Kolsk is. Someone who got tired of all the hangings. He's on the run now. Probably will be till they catch him. Okay, if you're next to be hanged, why don't you... what are you still doing here? Well, seems like a fair enough question. Drinking mostly. Point of fact, I'm on my way out. Just haven't figured out where I'm going yet. Not a whole lot of places out there that don't think Widewind's legacy started with Widewind. Well, now we could travel together. Where are you headed? Someplace called Cadnua. There's an old watcher there who might be able to help me.
I remember hearing something about that years ago. He tamed that place. People would seek him out for all kinds of things. Troubles of the soul, questions for the departed. Of course, that was back when you didn't have to say watcher with a hush on your breath. A man such as that, there'd be things I'd want to ask him. I don't know why I never thought of it before.
So he has found the vigor of purpose. Excellent.
Not sure how I feel about setting out with a stranger, and a strange one at that. But truth be told, you might be the only one in town who wouldn't feel some relief seeing me swing from that tree.
Well, now it wouldn't matter to me one way or another. There's a fine reason if I've ever heard one.
All right, then. Guess I'll do some sightseeing. As long as you're not the one picking the sights.
He tilts his head forward and gives you a pointed look. Okay, well, now let's get going. Okay, so we two have leveled up to match him, apparently. Can I make him... There's no way to make him a thief, is there? Except what I can do is just put the points into his mechanics. So I don't have to call him a thief necessarily to make him functionally a thief. Although I just thought it would let me, but now then it hasn't done, has it? Well, what's hidden back here? That's annoying. There's no way, there really is no way to, there's no way to change his class, is there? Okay, that's just annoying. Oh well. Say, lovey. What do we want to do with him? He needs some more spells, second level spells, in point of fact, and we're going to be taking the same ones. And that necrotic lance is priceless. What's this? Infuses the caster with vitality, giving them temporary increase to their... Oh, that's always that's something I don't like, because eventually that wears off, and that can be really ugly. How about combusting wounds? That's a fun one. Bugger me. So we're going to end up booting him out of our party eventually when we get a proper thief, which will take quite a while. I'm a-thinking, and it hurts. It hoits. Okay, so now we know what spells we want. What's that thing? Caster becomes able to see an enemy's weakness and vulnerabilities as though they were physically tangible. One thing we do want to do is go here. Ugh, gosh, I do that every freaking time. I can never remember which one. I think we need more people eventually. Okay, we're going to go do that other area, and then we will in the stream. It's going to end up being a little bit longer today because all the doggone dialogue that we had today. I apologize for that, but it helps to have the background dialogue all done for your character. And I find it relaxing myself, but I don't guess everybody does. There it is, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. Ah. Oh.
How may I help?
Like I said, I don't feel like it does us a lot of good to have the two mages in the party, but that's what we got.
Yes.
Let's go. Let's go.
Okay, so it takes care of the wolves. This is on hard mode, by the way. Some things are harder in this game than others. It's I don't feel that it's really very well balanced. Sure.
I'll see what I can find.
These aged walls appear to have once encircled the entire glade. Only a small fragment remains, and the stairs leading to the top of the structure have crumbled away. Let us examine it more closely. The heavy bricks are slick with moss, presenting a hindrance to climbing, but the stones themselves seem sturdy enough, and given the right tools, one might easily reach the top. Let's have Adair climb up there. Adair finds a handhold upon the ledge, upon one of the large stones, and starts to climb. Despite a few loose rocks and awkward angles, Adair makes swift progress and quickly arrives at the top of the wall. I knew he would. Once there, Adair helps you up and over the side. Okay, so here we are. See what we got here. Scrawled letter. I do not think you will ever see this, but you were right, Fulvano. We should have journeyed south together and been safer for it. I would tolerate all the gloating in the world if I might live to hear it. I have put myself out of reach of these beasts circling below, but I am done for all the same. I do not think I will rise again. Whoever finds this, pray for me. Perhaps in the next life I shall be a trapper of wolves. So, what do we have? We have Fulvano's gloves that give us +2 dexterity. And we have a minoring of deflection. Defense used to resist direct melee and ranged attacks against the character. Okay, so we need to see what his deflection is and his dexterity. His dexterity is 15. His is 15 and his is 11. And we can't see what the other score is. So what we're going to do is we're going to... I'm going to both those on him for the moment, since he's our primary fighter. I think he will benefit the most from them. I love the music. It's very relaxing. Okay, climb down. Just some random outlaw wandering around in the wilderness. What? Okay. Some lockpicks. That'll be a welcome thing.
Yeah.
So what I want to do is I want to put him
You're not
actually.
expecting much.
I ain't expecting much. Don't worry about it. And a touch more salt. Well, I reckon we may as well deal with them now if we can. The young dwarf tending the stew looks up, startled, as he sees you approach. He drops his ladle, splattering stew across the ground. What? The bandit turns. Get him, you dogs, and make sure our new cook doesn't run off. So they kidnapped him just because their food is shit without him? Help! Please help me! Whoa! One of the bandits gives Tenfrith a kick as they pass him, and he huddles. Yeah, okay. Oh, look at that. He's planning on slicing someone's tendon there. I think he's got something. See, he's not casting a spell, but maybe that'll disrupt him nonetheless. That did not. Okay, well, now it was worth a try, wasn't it?
Hey.
Blah, blah, blah. Decisions.
Yes. Love. Varu, be on seek.
That didn't work. Why are you standing? Don't play with yourself. Attack him. Suck him on. Don't know as how I need to do a whole bunch here. There's not a lot of it's on, and this is on hard mode. It's hard mode? Yeah, I put this on hard mode. What? Okay, well, like I said, some battles are harder than others. You make yourself useful. It's a chick, isn't it? Sorry, chick comes from chica. People are always insulted when I say that. I don't know why. It's not like I'm walking up to somebody and going, hey, chick. That'd be too weird.
Hail
So,
and well met.
by the flame. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I thought I'd be stuck cooking for those ignorant weasels for the rest of my life. Or until they were bored with me, I suppose. Did Pasca send you? She must be beside herself. I must get back at once. But listen, the next time you're in Gilded Vale, make sure to drop by the Black Hound. I'll let her know what you done for me, and I'm sure she'll do right by you in turn. Oh, to be back at my oven again. We got a major positive reputation with the Vale. Cool. Oh, and he left all his vegetables behind. Shh. We might find a turnip. What? The tent is empty, but for a pair of stained cots and the stank of unwashed bodies. There's a river not too far from here. There's no excuse to not be bathing. Disgusting creatures. Okay. So there's that. We might not be the best gamers in the world, but well, now then we don't have to be the stupidest. Okay. That's what it comes down to, folks. So, I think that the dialogues in the game are loud enough this time that you can hear them. That's kindly a question. It's just a poorly worded one, I think. Okay. So we were here earlier as we made our way out of those Ingwithian ruins. Let's go up here. Now we're going to go up to the other corner. We can go kill that bear, I guess. I imagine we could probably take the bear on. She said naively. Full of naive optimism. Well. Bah. Just wanted one person to go and grab that. Because it's not like we're going to go up when we go fight the other little critters, you know. It's not like we're going to level up. Okay, let's go inside. The question is, how many of them are there? Is it just one? It looks like it might just be one.
Leave it to me.
Well, he done seen us now, didn't he? O.T.
Hey.
Wait, both of them gonna cast that spell. They get these things, they get every single fight. Oh, bugger me.
Hi.
I don't really fancy losing a dare yet. This would be...
You're not getting through me.
Kill the bear. Kill the bear. Kill the bear. Mentions. Kinane, we just started. We don't want to lose him already. He's our only fighter. You suck.
Welcome to my channel.
Hi, welcome. Glad everybody's here. Hope you enjoy the game. Mice crawl through the eye sockets and over femurs. Okay, thank you very much. It's just run-of-the-mill greatsword. So, here we go. A figure drifts suspended in the musty air of the cavern. Its form and features blur and twist in cascading ripples of incandescence. You feel its energy ebbing about your limbs, filling them with a heavy chill. Let's reach out. You reach out a hand for the spirit. In the moment of contact, you feel as if you've been struck a blow, head reeling as you tumble helplessly into a waiting darkness. Light blooms at the edges of your vision. You feel the sun at your back and the weight of a bow in your hand. You know suddenly that you have come a long way from the vale hunting deer. Now you are standing before a cavern, and the darkness extends far into its depths. Even so, your friend strides out before you, his red cloak flapping at his heels. You follow, heart hammering in your chest, as he leads you deeper into the cavern. There's a roar like thunder echoing around you. Fear seizes you, casts you stumbling back toward the exit, towards light and escape. You see a glint of steel, and there is a sudden, terrible flash of agony behind your knee. You scream, stumble, fall. Your thoughts are chaos, lanced through with pain. But in a moment of terrible clarity, you see your friend look back from the mouth of the cavern, his dagger daubed in crimson to match his cloak. And then there is a great dark shape above you, and then there is more pain. The vision recedes, and you are thrown back into yourself with seemingly relentless force. The corpse lies at your feet, and the specter lingers. In the span of energy between you both, you feel a sense of questioning, of confusion, of anger. So, let us say I met your friend on the road. A sudden lashing anger emanates from the spirit. Rage and grief seem to pour from the gleaming figure like smoke. Okay, so we can choose to tell it to move on, or that we will find him and see that he answers for what he's done to you. Let's pick number 2. You're dead, spirit. There's nothing for you here. I'm hesitating because I'm trying to think. We're building our character here in essence, you know. And by the way, as far as I can see, this stream has held. I have not seen it drop, and no one has commented on it dropping, so I hope that is indeed the case. For a moment, the spirit seems to burn bright, and your head fills with a sickly triumph. The spirit seems to weaken with the force of its own exultation, growing fainter and fainter until you are alone once more. Okay. So, that gives us a quest. We can find the guy. Okay. We can find the guy who actually killed him. We can take revenge, or we can choose to turn him over to the law, in essence. Just so as you all know, in my feed at the moment actively are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 people, even though Twitch says it's only 1. And this is typical, actually. So let's beat feet. We'll go finish this area, and that will finish this stream for today, and then we will stream again tomorrow evening about that same time. And since this seems to be working, and I will confirm that it did work. If it worked, okay, and if the quality is not too terrible, then this is what we will do again tomorrow. Wasn't sure if they could cross over there. Whoa, right into it, baby, right into it. Like I said, it's not very, I don't find it to be terribly great having 2 mages. But there it is.
Leave it to me.
I mean, it's not the end of the world, obviously.
You're not.
They're such melodramatic creatures. Y'all notice that when they fall over to die? That's how we're doing. We're searching for, you know,
You might find this interesting.
hidden things. So the struts and supports are large enough to be the ribs and vertebrae of a dragon. Oops, sorry. I don't know what I'm doing. Well, I know what I'm doing. I'm thinking of my Assassin's Creed again, you know. So, did they behead who? Nope. And that one's done. Okay, let's head back to the Vale. Let's go talk to the cook, and then we'll end the stream for today. Tomorrow, we will be going down into the temple to clear out the temple. There are a lot of various moral decisions to be made in this game, and decisions that will shape your character. When we go in here, eventually, what our character will have is it will have a certain reputation. Okay, right now it's just party statistics, but eventually we will actually have a reputation, clever or stoic or benevolent or whatever. For those of you who haven't played, for those of you who have played, you already know this. You're preaching to the choir, brother. Ooh, tea. Do you remember how shows like Star Trek envisioned a future where sex, beziehungsweise gender, would not matter anymore? Well, we don't seem to be really moving in that direction. I would love to. My youngest daughter said we should get rid of the titles Mr., Ms., Miss, and Mrs., and just start calling people by their given name. And we could call everyone just they. And I agree with her. So. Point of fact, we'll just go back into the kitchen ourselves. Hitty! Tenfrith in his natural environment. Ah, it's you, my savior. He makes the sweeping gesture to indicate the kitchen around you. It's so good to be back. Do not think I will let this go unrewarded. I have decided that you have earned the right to learn one of my most closely guarded secrets, my dearest recipe. After this, you will eat nothing else. Savory pie. A savory pie to keep you hale and hearty. May it serve you well in your travels. Woohoo! Okay, so, oh my goodness. We are going to save this here. We'll save the game. What did we save it under last time? Okay, so I've got the caps on. Before the temple. We will save it here, and we will take up here tomorrow. Okay? Appreciate y'all coming, stopping by. In YouTube, we don't get so many people live. This just keeps me from having to upload the video and wait forever for that to upload. But what I get is mostly people who drop by after the fact. And I will keep an eye on that to see how many people pop in live while I'm streaming on Twitch. And how many people do past views in YouTube, so that I have an idea of what people want, because people never tell me what they want. I don't know what's wrong. Else y'all can go in and tell me what it is that you want. That'd be great. Thank you for spending your time with me. I appreciate it. We were a little bit long tonight, but not too bad. We do aim for about an hour and a half. We did hit about an hour and a half. So we'll pick up tomorrow. We'll go through the temple tomorrow. Tomorrow's stream might be an hour and a half, might be 2 hours. We'll have to see. And y'all take care until then. And thank you. And don't forget, if you're not subscribed, do subscribe. If you're not following me, follow me. Okay? Turn on your notifications, and you'll know when I'm online. See y'all.